Hey guys, how is it going? Welcome back to the channel. This is just a short channel update about the future of the channel and what you can expect really coming from, or beginning should I say, from probably next Thursday or Friday. This week will be very sort of like a transitional time for the channel. Obviously we've got Classic Fresh coming out Thursday and we've got a lot of sort of ideas and content around that. And the announcement, I think I mentioned in one of my previous updates about the actual Classic announcement, it's really got me excited for the channel and sort of the content that we can create. But I want to keep you guys in the loop and just sort of let you know that this transition is happening. There can be a lot of changes that are going to happen, but we're going to see how it goes. I've got the weekly schedule up on the screen at the moment, so I'm just going to kind of go down it and sort of explain my thinking behind it. I should say, I mentioned in the post, I put a community post sort of explaining sort of what I'm going to explain now, that this could be subject to change just depending on what happens. But yeah, so tomorrow, on Monday, there will be an Elandril video, and it will be a very short video, and it will probably be the last video of Elandril for quite some time. That is because we are going to do fresh content on the Fresh PvE server. I'm guessing that basically the whole Classic community will move there. I'm sure there will be some people staying on Era, but for now, it's best that we put her on hold. When they allow transfers over, I might bring her over and play on the channel. Play on the channel and play on that realm. I should say, for anyone who has joined Heartbound, the Classic Era guild that we've got going on Mirage Raceway, that will continue. We've had a lovely little time recently. Yesterday evening we did Dead Mines and we recruited a load of lovely people. That will stay there, and we've got a Discord server now, which you can get to by joining the guild. I will also be making a Heartbound Fresh, which will be Alliance PvE. It'll be the same, it's just a place for people who have met already in Era and want to continue, maybe they've made friends or whatever to be. That will be the plan going forward there. I may still play Elandril a little bit on Era. Obviously me and my wife play a lot of Era stuff, so we may well do that. But in terms of channel content, Elandril is resting for a while. Speaking of resting for a while, Morrowind is also going on hold. I know it hasn't really been a consistent upload. And the thing is, that game is incredible. It is an amazing game and it deserves more of my time and more of my focus. Until I can do that, we're going to leave Morrowind behind because, like I said, it doesn't deserve to just be posted every now and then. I really want Morrowind at one point to be like a big playthrough on the channel. And I know it's sort of not important. It's a interesting playthrough to quite a few people. And if I was to sort of lift sort of the cover of YouTube, it's actually that series has brought in a lot of people, and I don't want those people to feel left behind. Obviously, if you're only here for the Morrowind content, I understand if you want to take a step away from the channel, that's absolutely fine. One day it will be back. Maybe after all the hype subsides around Classic and stuff like that, and the fresh stuff, we can look at it. At the end, I'll talk about some other ideas I've got about variety games, but for now we'll move on. Forger is probably going to move into the Sunday game slot that Morrowind's left. So Forger is our Cataclysm Blacksmith Warrior. He may also go into some of like maybe the variety slot every now and then, sort of the late slot where Pokemon goes as well, just depending on how much I've recorded and how much I'd like to put out of it. Midbonk, our Hardcore Warrior, will continue until or when or if he dies. After that, Hardcore will probably have a little break, and then we'll return on the Fresh Hardcore server. Pokemon is going to continue. I'm having a blast with it. It's either going to be, it will stay in its slot, the late slot, which I've sort of called the variety slot, or it'll be sort of one Pokemon, one Forger, one Pokemon, one Forger. I'm still kind of deciding on how that's going to work. So, I'll have a better idea of the schedule and how sort of fresh how Fresh Classic will impact the channel from next week, especially when the content starts going up. So you can probably expect a revised schedule by next week, but in short, this is what's going to happen on the channel. There will be an immersive playthrough, much like the Elandro style, like the Let's Play style. That will be Alliance PvE. Pretty much exactly like Elandro, but it'll be a new character. We'll remake Honor Bounds there as a guild. Everyone, you're welcome. More than welcome to join. Absolutely. There will then be a weekly series, maybe bi-weekly, depending on times. At the moment, I've cut in my head it's called Last Week in Azeroth, but the name's subject to change. And this will be an edited series of what I've been doing on my Horde character on the PvP server. As you know, me and Jamie Wow, friends of the channel, there's an announcement video on my channel actually about the guild. We're starting a guild, and we've picked PvP just because it'll be busy, and we kind of want to capture some of that sort of early WoW experience. And PvP can be, world PvP can be very annoying. It can be, but that's also kind of a little bit about early WoW. I haven't played on a PvP server since I originally played back in 2004 when I was Alliance. And even then I wasn't like, I was about a year into, was it about 6 months when I started with WoW? So I missed that initial hype and the initial sort of fresh server. So I want to kind of experience it. Luckily there'll be, hopefully there'll be a nice little group of us there, so we can always support each other with world PvP stuff. But yeah, that will be happening, and it'll be things like little best bits, dungeon runs, any funny interactions with people that we meet, and I'll be doing like a post voiceover, kind of like what I'm doing now. So it won't be live commentary, it'll be like me going over it, kind of in the style of Barney B or Pint or Anti-Jax. There'll be lots of clips, sort of me talking about, that week. It may become like every 2 weeks, depending if I want to make like a longer format. But that is the plan for that, and I'm really excited about that content. One of the main reasons I'm doing it as well, I know I'll be honest, it's part of riding that sort of content and hype train. That's true. I want people to watch the content, and I know people are excited about it. But another reason for it is that playthrough and that style of video will help sharpen my editing skills. Doing the immersive playthrough and the hardcore stuff, I mean, the editing is really simple. I do some audio levels, I get the audio nice, I put like some nice transitions in. If I cut anything out, I try and make that look quite seamless. But yeah, as long as I can get ahead of recording, there shouldn't be any problems. If I'm at the point where I'm not, because of how hectic the classic launch has been, there may not be stuff Sunday. It'll depend. And then, yeah, so I've put the bottom there, extras. Every Friday there'll be a Last Week in Classic video showing my adventures with commentary. You can tell there I haven't picked a name, because earlier in the post I called it Last Week in Azeroth. They were calling it Last Week in Classic. So I'm still trying to pick something. If you want to give a suggestion, that would be cool as well. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting and sort of transformative week for the channel. I'm sorry that some of the things are stopping. It's just that, I'm still new to this and it's a learning experience, and I know that I've probably spread myself a little bit too thin. I just got excited, about what I wanted to show you guys. So it may well be as well, I think I've talked about it in the most recent Forger playthrough. Forger may stop as well. I'll have a better idea again, like I said, from next week, once we've gone through all this. There will be at least these episodes, so there'll at least be, let's see. Yeah, there'll at least be one more Forger episode and 2 more mid-bonk things. So that's what I need to get done, really. And then the Pokemon stuff as well. So yeah, I'm currently not ahead with anything. There's nothing scheduled on the channel. Just to give you a little behind the curtains. It's actually been really good this week to be ahead of stuff, so I'm going to try and do the same again and get ahead. So obviously the most recent stuff came out yesterday. I was going to put Morrowind out today, but I decided we'll wait until we can give that some full attention. Now, it's talked before about... I was going to say something about variety gaming. I love mid-ventures being... Oh, I like the idea of it being sort of a community channel that has games on it that we can experience as a community. That's why I love WoW. That's why I love that I've been able to make it Honor Bound and play with some of you guys and stuff like that. You know, that is... I know, selfishly, that is kind of what I always wanted. You know, I love that. I love that. And I love that we've built this little community of supportive people, and I love that we've attracted the kind of people who, you know, we've talked about mental health stuff and, you know, things like that over the past few months, and people have opened up to each other, and that is one of the most important things for me for the channel, is the community. I know a lot of YouTubers talk about community and stuff like that, and I'm not trying to say that they're not sincere about it, but I think sometimes it might be part of their channel but not the main focus. For me, I really want it on the forefront. I want this to become like, you know, imagine if in a year's time, or even in 6 months' time, I'm making a video called Honor Bound Take Down Ragnaros, or Honor Bound Enter the Dark Portal together, or something like that. You know, imagine if we're at that point where, as a community, we are sort of even almost kind of creating the content together. I would love that. And obviously we've got our friends Jamie Wow and stuff like that. You know, we've got so many exciting plans, and I think we're both very similar in our mindset. We want a cool social leveling community that can support each other, and yeah, we've got the same kind of mindset. So I'm really happy that me and Jamie have made that connection, and that we're going forward with this whole PvP thing. I think some people might have been put off by when we said PvP, because they think, oh, it's going to be really like sweaty, and like I'm not a camper when it comes to PvP. If we have to fight for like a mob, of course that's what we have to do. But I'm not going to be going around finding low level people and, you know, ruining their day. I went on a bit of a tangent there. I don't know why. Probably because I've experienced being camped by people higher level in the past. Okay, what I want to do now is web working, window capture. Okay, you can probably see. Yeah, so if anyone's interested, that's what the back end of YouTube looks like. So let me go here. This is probably going to play that. Yeah, so let me pause that. Got our subscribers, or subscriptions. I wanted to do another small channel shout out. You don't know that this is happening, Siege Knight. I found this guy. I often go onto the YouTubers, NEW, YouTubers, YouTube, Reddit, and it's people who are, you know, small channels and who are getting new to it, and sometimes I just browse and have a look and stuff like that. I haven't really commented on it, but I found this guy and I was like, oh, this looks good, you know, Skyrim. One of my first sort of games when I started content creation was Skyrim, and then I was like, oh, I wonder what it's like. I'm just going to show you. This is this guy's first video, okay? His first time creating a video. You know, he's doing the classic thing. I did it as well, you know, waiting for the Skyrim to come through before talking, I imagine. There we go. So listen to the quality. Amazing. Like, I wish I had that kind of audio quality when I started. Siege, if you see this, I will at you in the description. You are doing awesome. You deserve more than 25 subscribers. And I think a lot of the people who watch my stuff would love your stuff, so I'm hoping a few of them will go over. Obviously, we're a small community here ourselves, but, you know, I still want to try and continue to lift up other content creators that I enjoy. So yeah, that was the end of that section. So can I go back to... where was I? Dean? There we go. We'll just go back to the weekly schedule. So yeah, there's the weekly schedule. Guys, thank you so much for all the subscriptions. We're at 240 something now, 241. It's been great. I'm going to show you one last thing before I go. This channel. Midfielder. You might be thinking, that looks somewhat like somebody I subscribe to. This is an alternative channel, a second channel that I have created. It's probably not going to have content on it for quite some time because we've got Classic Fresh coming up. I've talked in the past about how I love Football Manager and I would one day want to make content around it. I'm going to do that one day, but I didn't want to put it on Midventures because it just doesn't mesh with the sort of WoW stuff. I think eventually maybe Midventures becomes like a WoW channel, and then maybe we even make a variety gaming channel at one point to put other stuff, because I don't want it to be like all over the place, and it did feel a bit like that for me at certain points. We're not at that point yet. Pokemon's going to continue on Midventures. I don't think it's having like a negative effect on the channel. But yeah, Football Manager content is so different to the stuff that's on Midventures that, yeah, I will be putting it there. And I thought the name was quite smart, a bit cheeky. Midfielder, obviously a position in football. And I made like, well, I say I made this, you know, you can probably guess what I did to get this. I used AI, but I literally just put like this, you know, my guy as a reference, and I'd put him in like a sporty top or something like that. I'll show you this as well, because I've mentioned it, but I don't think I've ever shown you. This was my original channel, which eventually became, it used to just be called Midian. It eventually became Midian 3 Peak. We do multiplayer stuff. We haven't done stuff in a very long time, but we got like some good like funny shorts and stuff like that, and it's all really multiplayer stuff. If you know, like I said, it's been a while, and I would say like even my editing and audio quality has changed a lot since then. So in the future, if we ever come back, then it'll be that. There's some of my early stuff that I did. I think I've told you about this. I put this on Midventures now. The Project Overlord, Darkside Detective. That was a game, one of the very first games I ever recorded. You can probably, let me show you the audio quality on this. Oh, you can just tell that I was very new to it, but you know, I was a bit subdued and stuff like that. And yeah, so it's all multiplayer stuff. 3 Peak, my friend Ian, who's also my wife's cousin, we're very good friends. And every so often our friend Chris as well. We did like 3 guys plays. This stuff was really good. When we were doing like Left 4 Dead, it was a lot of fun. It might be a bit loud. But like, I was still learning like how to balance like 3 people's audio and stuff like that. But you know, if you want to go back and watch something and sort of look at the roots of where I came from, you know, this is it. Yeah, so guys and gals, you know what? I could start putting the variety stuff back on Midian 3 Peak. Instead of just making a new chat, yeah, because that's, yeah, I may well do that in the future, but not now. So. Let's go back to... Oh, I've literally just showed you that. All of that stuff with the wrong thing on. Oh my god, I'm a moron. Look, here it is. So there's Midian 3 Peak, okay? There's all the stuff that we do. Content warning, Lethal Company, Ghost Recon, you know, just all fun multiplayer stuff. There's the... that's what I was saying before. There's Darkside Detective. I'm sure you could have heard the audio at least. Love Lessons of Football Manager. These were my first attempts at like scripted content. And then yeah, sorry, Midfielder. There's Midfielder. If you're interested in that stuff, go give it a subscribe. It will eventually come online. But if you're not, I completely understand. I know how different it is to the stuff that we're doing now. Yeah. Until then, I hope you come with me on this adventure the next week. It's going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to the classic fresh stuff. I've actually taken Friday off work. That's how serious that I'm taking this, so I can try and capture as much content as possible. Hopefully that goes well. I know there's been a lot of changes on the channel, and I feel like there's been a load of updates on the channel recently, and I don't know if you guys like that. You know, I do like trying to keep in touch with you guys, but also I understand you might just be thinking, for God's sake, just play some games. Which we will do. We will be playing games. So yeah, I've already gone over it many times what to expect, but yeah, bit of a transitional week. Hopefully the week after we'll be doing the fresh sort of content daily. There'll be the retrospective content on a Friday or a Saturday called either This Past Week in Azeroth or Classic or something like that. Middies adventures in fresh classic. You know, give me some ideas. Until then, stay safe out there. I love you guys very much, and bye for now.